Okay, welcome back, Guardians. Sorry for that little up there. So I found a way where I can go start a private party where the only voice you're going to hear is myself or something. Back on Destiny, back on PlayStation 4, I could start a private party and not invite anybody, and then do my thing, and nobody would have to listen to me in the game, which I do mostly as a courtesy. Um, because when I'm talking about stuff, some people don't might not agree and might get really buttering the mic, and nobody knows how to just hit the mute button apparently, um, because reasons. But anyway, yeah, you can actually go into the playlist and mute people. In fact, I'll show you real fast how you can do that. You go to your roster here. You see this person right here? Okay, you can go ahead and click on them for details, and then, well, they're not actually. They can't. You can't hear them. They can't hear you. You have to be in an activity apparently. Okay, so we're going ahead and we're going to. I don't need any of this. Um, yeah, let's do the brightness farm. Fuck it. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go start an activity, and like I said, I don't do any of this scripted or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and look at the rewards that we want, and what we want. Get ascended shards, but I want to get. Okay, so then we have that. All right, so barriers and overloads. Okay, barrier is the most important one we need to face off with. So pulse rifles. Oh, but I really want to. I really, really, really want to. Do you really want to? Yes, I want to. Okay, there we go. I'll just do that for now because I really want to get this leveled up because everybody says that the Ragnhild, um, I think you're supposed to pronounce it like Brunhild, but it's Ragnhild. Uh, anyway, everyone says that this shotgun is really supposed to be really, really good in PvP. I tried it and I sucked with shotguns to begin with in PvP, and this was not helping me it out at all. But it's not a pinpoint slug frame, and it doesn't have those range and handling and reload speeds stats yet. I have to get this up to I think level 16 before that can happen, which is why I'm doing these activities, so I can just go ahead and level shit up. We're gonna do a heroic, and now the weapon doesn't have to be in your inventory the whole game, the whole activity, but it needs to be there before you get to the end. So I could actually go ahead and let's see what else I can put this one in at least and get this filled up with stuff, and I think we'd be okay. Like this guy, look at this. See now the Palmera. For some reason, now the rocket launcher is doing good. Is it better than my Ascendancy? Actually, with that blast radius, yeah, I don't have to worry too much about velocity because I can get more. I think an upgraded impulse amplifier. I don't really want to use lasting impression. I prefer chain reaction, but that's what we had for the first roll, so that's what we're going to do. I guess I can go ahead and just infuse it across. Might as well. The thing is that even if you are disappointed with the gun after you've done the so-called best roll possible for your playstyle, don't throw it away. Really don't. It's a crafted weapon. Keep it around. Put it in your vault. You never know if the perks are going to get updated, changed in some way or another, or there might actually be. Um, I see it's not showing my microphone on the screen, so I'm going to have to probably run my channel in the background, which is hella cheesy, just to see it, make sure that I've actually got audio coming out of this. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, because the perk pool could change, because they change the perk pool on guns all the time, and more importantly, a particular perk that might not be as relevant could become more relevant. And rather than stocking, 15 copies of the same weapon, and that's being very liberal, by the way. You end up with just one copy of the weapon, and then all you have to do is go out and get the materials to upgrade it, which I am hoping that I can do. I don't know how many of those um, cores I need to have on inventory. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about stuff as I'm doing this. But yeah, I know the title says something about we don't need matchmaking in Crucible. Because there is no matchmaking in Crucible. I really don't think there is. I think it really is just like throw your tag in the pool and pull out a handful of randos. Because yeah, I played 3 matches, won the last one finally because the first two we just got mercy rolled. So sad. But to note that the just to kind of stay on topic with the commentary that I led with here in the titling, um, to note there was a pattern in the matchmaking, and it was the fact that nearly every lobby I was facing against, every team I was facing against, at least one person on that team had a weapon that involved going into an activity that I definitely don't encourage people to do. It's not that I don't discourage it; I just don't say that it's worth it. Um, but I mean, if you're new to the game and you haven't played as long, then you probably don't have the inventory that I have or anybody else in my history. Um, so, going in and, and chasing down something like, a Fate Lost or a Time Lost or an Adept or an exotic that, you can only get from doing a solo, dungeon, um, might be something you want to do. And who's to say? I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I don't find the value in sweating my ass out, um, for a weapon that I'm never going to really use for the most part. I mean, you know, uh, it's not like I have to worry about it. I mean, unless I'm leveling the gun to get enhanced perks, or I am leveling the gun to get resonance out of it, there's not much really that I'm doing apart from just having fun and playing the game. That's kind of where I wanted to. Oh fuck, he died. I want to go back and help him. No, no, he rezzed up. Okay, cool. That's kind of all really I wanted to do. I just wanted to play the game and have fun. I come from a culture of single player, gaming, and the whole online gaming thing really only started for me with Destiny. Um, that was when my son and I, decided that we wanted to play Destiny, and you had to be online for that. So we got, it was the first time our house got a Wi-Fi router, and we started paying attention to internet connection speeds and things like that. Um, and then, of course, afterwards, Elder Scrolls Online came around, and then, of course, all the, free to play and inexpensive multiplayer, party games like Fall Guys, in Fortnite. Yes, I consider Fortnite to be a multiplayer party game. I don't really consider it to be a battle royale or a competitive PvP game. It doesn't feel like that to me ever. Sorry. And again, it's my lens that I see gaming through. It's meant to be entertaining. It's meant to be fun, a place for you to explore ideas, do some theory crafting, or whatever. Um, it's kind of like when I was studying architecture in school. Um, I used to take my girlfriend into into buildings just to explore the architecture. Not kidding, not kidding. I had a grand old time. We have some pretty old buildings in our hometown, um, but a lot of the modern stuff was really interesting too. And it's like explaining that when you step into this building, you are stepping into the mind of somebody. Hopefully, somebody creative and passionate about their choice of career, and not just doing some kind of prefab cookie cutter thing, which actually became very, very popular in the 70s. I know I forgot this is a heroic event, so I have to be a little bit more attentive to my positioning here. I can't just go running willy nilly and get my ass bombed out by the champions. But in any case, so yeah, how did I get off on that subject? Oh yeah, so playing the game. Um, it would be fun if there was a single player mode for Crucible, where you could actually learn the ins and outs of Crucible, playing against some AI. Um, and I think it's a missed opportunity. No, you wouldn't be able to complete any bounties in it, obviously, and you may or may not get reputation for the Crucible. Although I would say that it probably would be a good idea to do so. I mean, because maybe you don't want to put up with the sass and salt of individuals. I mean, Crucible shouldn't be a hate-filled environment. And the last three lobbies that I was playing in, the people I was playing with, they were pretty sassy. I wouldn't call them haters or anything like that, but again, it's kind of like you get into a competitive environment, and you know you're going to have to deal with that. But that shouldn't be part of the experience. Having to deal with someone's backsass shouldn't be what you have to be worried about. And it does push a lot of people out of the game and out of certain activities. Would I play the raid if I had a more consistent group to raid with? Chances are, yeah, I probably would because it would be fun. But I don't have a consistent group to raid with. Now, why am I saying consistent group? Well, because LFG is not a consistent group, my friends. And more importantly, you don't always find people who are going to be accepting of the idea that you are here just to have fun and you want to go ahead and, play this activity and you are in for the loot for the most part, but you really don't mind whether or not you get that loot. And you're not there to flex, you're not there to show off your skills, you're just there to play the game and get a completion. And that's kind of what, it works out to. It's kind of like, if you're doing laundry, uh, you could see it as a chore, you could see it as a challenge, or you could see it as a task. And it's the same three tiers of engagement that I always talk about, where what is a grind, what is a farm, and what is a binge, um, or what is work, what is a job, and what is a career. Everybody has to work to survive. Everybody has to do some kind of work to survive. Um, and you start making some progress in that work, then that's a job. And if you are passionate about the job you're doing, then that becomes a career. Whether it's flipping burgers or drawing designs for a building, um, there's all different ways to engage in content, and that content isn't just what the games you played, it's the world you live in, it's the life you live, it's the people you connect with or avoid or anything else. um, that's why gameplay for me is so important as a daily activity, because it does, it helps me realize and remember, there's a good amount of interpersonal workings in the gameplay, especially when you're playing a social game like Destiny, and it is a social game. In spite of what other people and other players might. Oh, thank you for resing me. Am I not part of the fire team? Okay, I guess whatever. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you this. So nobody else is on microphone. But there, yeah, there it is. So if you don't want to listen to somebody who's chatting, but you still want to hear everybody else, you can just mute them. And I'm surprised that most players, don't do that. But then again, a lot of players do prefer to be trolls. So there's that. Um, and yeah, that's not my opinion. That is an objective observation. Get it? Objective observation kind of situation. There we go. Okay, what are we doing here? And why is it taking so long for this shit to There we go. We're finally getting some forward motion. There we go. Ba, ba, ba. I'm loving it. All right, off we go. This is why I don't like time payload, because then I could get my ass killed in it. Oh, fuck you. Oh my god. Ah. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, the matchmaking when it comes to Crucible, there is no matchmaking. I don't understand, and it's so it's I don't know if it's ironic or hypocritical or just bullshit when they say we're breaking up those teams to find a better match. You're not, dudes, because there's no matchmaking. So why are you lying to us? Why are you saying that there's matchmaking when there isn't? We got to get this fucking shit sorted fast, or we're going to end up with our butts killed. Come on, man. Work with me here. Stun his ass. Yes, take your sweet ass fucking time. Did we fail? No, we just bailed out. Yes, this is why I don't like time payload. Because this. Come on. Alright, I think that's all for the champions. Now let's go ahead and get our leveling weapons up. I don't know if this will actually award me the materials I'm looking for. I should have probably done some online research. That's the other thing too, is that it would be nice if there was more in-game transparency about what it is you're doing versus what you're going to get, um, or how to get it. It would be nice if they say, "Oh, so you reached your limit, obtainable otherwise in the open by doing this," and just hit that tooltip and go there. Bungie's so precious about how much data they're using. This is what their excuse for the content vault is, but I'm telling you, it's the same BS that Disney does uh, with their content. How did I die? You're saying it's a misadventure? Fuck. This is and again, this is why I won't do Grandmasters, Legendaries, or raids or trials or anything else because, well, I will do trials because this happens, a lot to me. Actually, it happens quite a bit to me, and I don't know why it does. There's no logic behind it. It's just annoying. Where is the servitor? I'm on the side. The servitor's going to spawn from there, aren't I? No, I'm not. Okay, good. Nope, there he is. Yep, I was right. Uh, yes, please get in my LOS. Because we don't need to finish this before he goes to Nova. Well, that's all that is. What a waste. Did we get any levels on this? Eh. I actually had the fucking rocket launcher out the whole fucking time, and I barely got anything on it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just don't know. Ooh, a 612. 612 versus a 648. Lunulata. Interesting name. Well, I'm out of here. Let's go do some trials real quick. How much time do I have left? It's 17 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to say I'm done. So, yeah, per the actual title that I have up here, even though I didn't play any Crucible, I'm just going to comment out there right now. I don't know what they're doing for matchmaking or why they're saying we're breaking up those teams to find a better match, because there is no matchmaking in this game. It's not connection based, because the last match I was in had me bouncing up and down the connection bar the whole fucking time. The previous two matches where we got our asses stomped, my connection was perfectly fine the whole time. So it's not connection based matchmaking, and it's not skill based matchmaking, and it's, I don't know. It must be, and it's not geo filtered, because I was playing with somebody who is very definitely not North American based on what they were saying, and I couldn't understand it. Well, I don't know. That's probably making an assumption. So yeah, fight me in the comments about that one if you want to. Because anything I say, everything anybody says can trigger anybody if they wanted it to, and that's just fine. I don't want to be drug into an activity that doesn't make me feel like it's worth my time. It's kind of like the reason why I don't like any of the Dream in City, Moon, or Throne World strikes is because they're just so drawn out, and it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary. The amount of jogging you have to do in those strikes. But yes, back on the whole Crucible thing, I do think it's basically engagement matchmaking. I think that's what they do. They find all the people who are just trying to have fun and enjoy themselves, and they throw them in a lobby together, and then face them off against, hey, you're having a good time just doing gunsmith bounties and the weekly playlist stuff. But hey, did you know that if you did the raid, you can have this awesome weapon here that just seemed to blow your face off every freaking moment? Um, I've said it so many times before. Yeah, I could chase a time lost fate bringer. I could chase an adept summoner. I could chase an exotics. But in my hands, they're not going to be any better than any other legendary I could get hold of. Um, you know, having the perk pool availability is only goes so far. After that, it's the player skill, and I know my limits. I know what I want out of the game, and I just don't like being pushed into things I don't want. Um, and that's kind of really what it comes down to, I guess. That would be the thesis point of this whole little conversation I've been having with myself. Anyway, thanks for stopping by.